Hi, and we back chilling the energy. Today we have a wonderful guest, Kiara Auset. How you doing? Kiara? Wait, am I saying it right?
Yes, Kiara. Hi, I'm well. How are you?
I'm amazing. Thank you for coming on
Good.
today.
Thank you for having me. I'm blessed to be here.
Blessed to have you. Blessed to have you. For sure.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
I said I'm blessed to have you.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Right. Um, how did you get into like your spiritual journey? How did that start for you?
My spiritual journey. I feel like all my life I've been on a spiritual journey. Like, I
What?
don't know if that's like a usual answer or not,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I feel like also now that I'm where I am now,
Whoa.
like knowing like my birth chart and natal chart, like knowing my placements and how much Aquarius is all through my chart. Like I just feel like I've
Mm-hmm.
always like through clear cognizance, just like always been on my spiritual journey. Like when I reach back to like my furthest child memories, I just think like especially like not wanting to go to school and like realizing like what the like I guess you could say matrix is. But like,
Yeah,
you
you
know,
realize you're not like you don't belong there.
right, assimilation, like I never liked it. I was just
But
always turned off by it as a little girl. And so I'm just like I always knew like one day I just have to like separate, detox from this, like get away from this. Like
where
and I mean, back then, of course, I was younger, so I guess I pictured like just being in like the middle of nowhere, off grid, like in my
yeah,
own like paradise.
sounds
And
lit.
like, still to this day, I kind of want to like do that on my own land, of course, and like have my own micronation, my own jurisdiction.
Your own like
Like,
your own city or country, like Akon did. He got Akon City.
well, you're right. Like it'll be like micro. I don't want to like. It can't be too big because then, like I feel like that might contradict certain things. But it depends. Like expansion, like maybe like sister like villages or sister like micronations and stuff
Yeah,
across the world and stuff, but like not all up on my land because like I don't like I have
yeah,
Aquarius a humanitarian, but I just don't like people. Like, I can only handle so much,
yeah,
like I
yeah.
need that balance.
You gotta protect your energy. Um,
Right, that's just how I react to this predicament that we are raised into.
yeah, facts. It's like we're just born into it. I feel you though about like the not resonating with certain things.
Right, like
Like when I was younger, I couldn't drink just regular water. I like you
Mhm.
know like the acidic
Yeah.
waters with fluoride
Right.
in it. Yeah, that those
Right.
ones.
Yeah.
I couldn't drink none of those. Like Portland Springs, I could never drink that. Like it just wasn't good to me.
Uh-oh. Right. Purified. Yeah.
Yes,
You could just taste like it just tastes
it
off.
does. Yeah, it tastes off. It just doesn't feel right when you drink it. When I had like my like
That's the name. And like I had that like we had Google Drive
yeah.
back then. So like everything we sent in we had saved to there or like our school email account and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I remember like trying to save like important documents before like they erased our information or like
Mm-hmm.
they expired our like passwords and stuff. And I got a bunch of stuff, but I always look and relook for that document and I just can't find it because I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to channel that that younger self of me and like look at my work and then I can't. So I guess it's not meant to be. I'm just supposed to start from scratch, I guess.
Yeah,
Get
makes
over
sense.
it.
Yeah, that's
But
interesting.
I haven't thought, well, I guess. Okay, so actually I have thought of it.
Mm.
I've thought of my 508c1A faith-based organization name, which I did like not register, but I did like get my like, EIN number for this year. So like, officializing like it myself. But which is like, in other words, when like, not that you necessarily have to have like physical land, but like any property, like it's a trust, in other words, which can also be a micronation. So I kind of already have started it, like at least like the paperwork part. So it is called like let me think about it 1 second, because like, all right, I had to be a little extra, but it's Abby Ascension they're Auset. Dauset. So it's like a little French in there. But it's basically like, okay, so Abbey translates into like kind of like a nunnery or monastery, but like that's not what it necessarily is, but it is kind of like, I didn't want to call it a church, and I wanted to think of a word that, didn't translate to church either.
Yeah.
But like would fit, faith-based organization. So like I felt like that, plus my friend who passed away in high school, she was hit by a car, hit and run accident, and they just drove off. But yeah, I got a tattoo on my foot, my first and only tattoo so far, dedicated to her, and her name is Abby. So I like felt like that resonated with me, and aligned. So I was like, okay, this is the best word, because I love like diving into etymology of words and figuring out their origin and what they really mean, because I know how powerful words are, and like how I feel like English is just like pig Latin, and it's just like the worst language you could possibly just like, at least speak natively. Because like we rely on this language so much, and it's we don't really know, or a lot of people, I would say, don't tend to know what they're really saying and what spells they're really, casting upon themselves or others, because they don't know the power of words, and like, words mean, and swords are like spin backwards or whatever, whatever that quote is.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So
and the word with the thing with the words is like it's like always right in front of you, like for example, morning, and when you wake up in the morning, yeah.
So I say Grand Rising. I've like incorporated that. I've disciplined myself into that really well. The past couple of years. Yeah, like I've just always in like my Aquarius energy is just like that rebellion, concept, and like, keyword of that Uranus energy, right? Yeah. It's like, that's what I feel like I embody. That's why I wanted to, like, my passion, my soul mission involves starting this nation, this micronation, and like teaching people how to, gain sovereignty, be self-sustained, not rely on the government, not trust, just, or not necessarily not to trust them, but to exercise their rights, because we still have them, and if you don't use them, it's like you lose them. So like people have really forgotten, in these like, subliminal programmings, these obvious programming, just like, everything they do, the fluoride in the water, like everything like that they do to block your pineal gland, to keep you tethered like a big old elephant to a little like post or tree. Thinking that you can't escape from this little thin rope, and like thinking that you're living your life right. I've always rejected that, and I don't know if like me being, you melanated brown, highly pigmented melanated person like has anything to do with it. But I mean, I could definitely feel like intuitively, it has definitely made it easier or like more obvious for me, I feel, growing up, along with like my spiritual gifts of claircognizance and claircognizance mostly, and I guess like
Mm.
clairsentience of like, okay, this is the society I've been born into. Like I
Yeah.
feel like at an early age I caught on, I guess
Mm.
because I have also. Um
Right.
so
Mhm.
like I've definitely know I've reincarnated. So like I definitely came here knowing like reject all of this. Like I guess that's why I was born the day I was born, to get all this Aquarius in my chart, to reject all this stuff and be like, we need something else. We need
Yeah.
to like start anew. And
Yeah.
the age, like, to get and be in my prime during the age of Aquarius. And I just like, we
Yeah.
realized that, like, it's the age of Aquarius right now. Like,
Double Aquarius energy.
right.
Um, and for the people who do speak up nowadays, well, at least in the past couple years, they've kind of been silencing them. So like, if you speak up about something, your account might get
Mhm.
deleted on these certain platforms.
TikTok, right? Like, especially like, right, people
YouTube
get
too.
banned for a couple of days, or their videos getting, taken off or muted.
Their accounts getting out of here. Their YouTube, like someone
Mhm.
commented on something 4 years ago. It was something about the government. It was like it was something about like Nancy Pelosi, how that family's been in government in the government for over 100 years,
Mhm.
and like just opening the eyes in the comments, and then her account got deleted immediately.
Mm. See, yeah, because they definitely be twatching. And
Yeah,
the more that like we consider them twatching us, just like law of attraction, like you just can't like fight the universal laws. Like
yeah,
you're gonna like, manifest that situation quicker, or more obviously, more right there in your face. Like your account being, instantaneously.
yeah, yeah.
um Dang. But yeah, I mean, that's the price. That's the price of sacrifice, right? Of telling your truth
Yeah.
authentically, fully,
Hmm.
tenfold, being authentically yourself
Mm.
and being a part of this resistance.
Yeah.
If you want to
Um,
say.
and then on the other side of it, so the people, there's people who just like, give their consent like by not speaking up, and
Hmm. You can't help anyone that basically that doesn't want to help themselves. Like you can't help
like,
those that won't help themselves. Like no one's going to save your life for you. So I just like, yeah, that's just that's a download I received, and I know that it's truth.
it is facts though. I mean, I used to try to help people a lot, and then when you first get connected like on a deeper level, and you first
Mhm.
realize it and you become aware of it, you be wanting to help people more, and then
Right, and then
it,
they reject it.
they reject it. It's not on their frequency. They haven't went through
Right,
they haven't did
they
the
ain't
work
there.
it takes to get there yet.
Gotcha.
As you continue doing the work,
Right,
everybody around you is gonna like kind of be a product of that energy that you're giving out.
right. Once you, like get into it, get past them 22 days, get disciplined, get focused,
Mhm.
and then you like basically start to quantum leap.
Yeah, yeah, embody that frequency.
And do, attract that soul family, that, you know, the people you here to heal once you recognize who you truly are and
Mhm.
what it is you're here to do. And am I should be proud of myself. And I am, not that I'm not proud of myself, but like I don't really say or give myself credit enough.
Mhm.
At the retreat, their first getaway retreat that they hosted July 14th to the
Mhm.
16th, I believe.
Yeah.
In like Hollywood Beach, Florida, or Hollandale. Yeah, Hollywood Beach. And it was very much in alignment. It was just like just off the first day after the icebreakers, like everyone had like their okay, so everyone got like a number, and
Mhm.
then they explained that like everyone had like, or like half the room, had a pair or whatever, like half of everybody had a pair, or should have had a number, corresponding number pair that someone got on their card. And what we did was we were told to write a message that we felt like we really needed to hear most in that moment. Then we end up, of course, like everybody like starts mingling, and she explains like, now we're gonna like see everybody raise up their number and then go find your pair, and then when you find everyone gets next to finds their pair, we're gonna exchange and like say it to each other and then exchange the cards. And so like there was just so many people that like wrote like something, like someone shared that someone wrote down specifically like, it's time to write the book. And then the person they shared their card with like already has their book written and is ready to be published, but they haven't published it yet. And like it's about like, it's a very like informative, like I feel like necessary parenting book. Right. And everybody's like simultaneously saying like, girl, publish the book, we need this book. Like,
That's good
what you
information.
waiting for? So she was like, I like, now after today, like I get the message, like I need to, get this book published. So like it that was just one, testimony. And there was just so many other people that shared that was like things were like just right on the nose in alignment. It was just like, and then I said, like, it's just someone was like, I love how spirit be spirited. And I was
Yeah.
like, I love how God be God, and like God just be God. Like,
Yeah.
this is the proof. Like we are all witnesses in this room, like all 100 or whatever of us was there. Like
Yeah.
just so magical.
Yeah, alignment is magical. Uh, like a lot of people don't understand that concept because they're not like on that level. But
And they're
like
not open to it,
yeah, they're not open to
to
it
see
either.
the proof or even understand it like that, right? Because they
They, they,
can't
they think
comprehend it yet.
they think it's a coincidence every time. And I'm like, no, that's not no
Mhm.
coincidence. Meanwhile,
Right,
they was just talking about it like 5 minutes ago. But
right.
and
Damn.
then they don't end up taking action. But
Mhm.
usually in my life, I'll be trying to do my best to stay in alignment and stay with people in alignment and do things for people
Right.
in alignment.
Follow your promptings. Yeah.
Because the minute you do something that's not in alignment with someone that's not in alignment, it could like mess up the flow a little bit, mess up the abundance.
Oh yeah.
You're in abundance energetically, and they're not. They're in lack. That's like um your energy and your karma and like
Like
the things you experience are based on the people you're around too,
right.
and the people you spend your most time with, and the people you're giving your energy to. So
Right.
so it's important to like be aware of that and like set the boundaries in the relationships that like may not be in fully in alignment, but you may like be somewhat cool with them, but like you just kind of like set some
Right.
boundaries because like who you can talk to certain things about, like
Yeah.
if you was like, yo, I seen a shooting star, and it was like alignment or something like that, or you seen like a spiritual thing,
Right.
angel numbers, and you say that to the wrong person, then they're gonna think you're crazy.
Right. For real. For real. And yeah, that's why it was just so liberating. It was like I manifested this moment. I'm here in Florida with my soul family that I have been praying for over a couple years. If, I guess really from as long as I could say, I knew what my purpose was since a little being, younger, like always
Mhm.
wanting to, or even before that, always wanting like any trauma trigger of rejection, like always wanting to find a fine-tuned, certain specific group of people that resonated with me on this spiritual level, on this deep level, that are not here for the bullshit, that are not
Yeah.
here, right, that are not cheap. And it's like
Yeah.
also like even deeper than that, like we are all like energetically and soulfully, cosmically aligned, more than, or like, I mean, so is technically anyone you come in, into, contact with. But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but
here for the long war run, more like
yeah,
relationship, right? Alignment
yeah,
versus, yeah, those other people relationships, like you were saying, like, where there's a significant amount more or different boundaries for them, or that you may, that you put up when you're around them, because not necessarily because you don't want to like be judged, but you just know you don't want to be around that energy, because birds of a feather flock
yeah,
together, like you were saying
yeah,
earlier.
yeah, and you know that if you say certain things, it's going to be a judgment to like
Right.
a argument to a debate that is not up for no debate. But instead of wasting your time doing that, you just kind of like um talk about other things, anything else like
Yeah.
uh
And it's an alignment that you even bring that up. Do you have those times where I'm like, okay, I can't go to sleep? Like,
yeah, but
yeah, I used to do that. I now I kind of like put on. I'm an insomniac, and it's probably because of my cannabis addiction.
yeah,
um, and like other things, because I definitely have always struggled with sleep. Like I guess my first eye like chakra imbalance,
yeah,
and like struggle with that. And I she was saying so. I was like, the other night, I was like, you know what? Let me just not even like worry about going to sleep, because I feel like the only reason I'm forcing myself to sleep lately is to like meditate on time. If I stay up too late, then I'm like, okay, we gotta go to bed soon so we can meditate from 3 to 5 p.m. But my alarm is like set to like 4, get that middle mark. So if I like doze off a little bit, like I still got time to like wake myself back up and then meditate. But yeah, like
yeah,
I've been getting in the groove and discipline myself more. And I
yeah,
feel like this, obviously having a professor and the homework being every day to meditate every day.
yeah,
Like I feel the accountability, or like, the pressure
yeah.
to
It's
do
easy to
it.
take
And I
out of it.
know I needed that.
Um, yeah, the morning routine is really important. I'd be trying to get up early just so I can get more. I can do more stuff in the morning, not just
Mhm.
meditate, but like stuff I'm trying to take action with, and I'm just trying to get on my
Right.
discipline schedule.
You said you were getting up earlier, and like that's the best time to do those things. Like that's the best time to conquer that, seize the day,
Yeah,
carpe diem. um like ancient times, they got up at 4, the times that I set my alarm. I'm supposed to get the fuck up. I'm supposed to get out of bed, but I don't. I just sit up, and my professor says, get out the bed. But I say, hey, practice makes perfect. And at least I can sit up in this bed and make myself tune in, to my soul tribe, my lead guides, my spirit team, everybody.
yeah, everybody.
And like give them my attention. Now I don't know how long I can hold it before I go back to sleep, but hey, I try. I put my effort in.
So how long have you been trying to get up?
So,
Working?
well, I've been enrolled since January.
Okay, okay.
But even before then, she was always saying that. So I probably had the alarm, like go back and forth, like ignoring the alarms, like setting them.
Mm-hmm.
For like, I guess the past couple years. Yeah, you could say.
Okay. Have you ever woke up at 4? Is there one day you woke up and you felt the difference in your day?
Um, I've definitely felt like I've definitely, like I said, my sleep issues and my insomnia. I've definitely waking up
Yeah.
2 a.m., 4 a.m., 3, those
Yeah.
certain angel numbers too, like, or like those number
Five, five, five. Yeah.
synchronicities and times, and like the time that I said I was supposed to wake up, or just like for whatever. And I'm like, okay, like if I'm too lazy, then, or like before and early on, like my ba, had most control. So it's just like, I'm not gonna be bothered. Like I'm not moving. Like we'll meditate like this, laying down. Like however, I just woke up. Like I'm not moving. And then I feel like my spirit team, like, was like, all right, so what we're going to do is now we're going to like give her like hot flashes at like 4. So we're going to see if now her ass get up. So, like, those started happening. I'm like, why the hell I keep getting hot like randomly in the middle of the night? And then I always have to pee. Like I just feel like that's always, like, that's been happening so long that like middle of the night I have to get up and pee. Like that's just been the thing. And like they're like, okay, she's clearly like not got the message with the bladder. So then they started the hot flashes. and, or like, and now it's just like, I guess, really sleepless nights because I don't know. I just need
Yeah.
to get out the bed.
Yeah.
But I've been getting better like these past couple weeks. Like I've actually been like sitting up, like, all right, let's do this. Like writing, or like I would say since June, I've been getting better, or noticing like more, like obviously not every day, but definitely more often. Or like, and so if I don't meditate at that exact time, I'll make up for it. Of course, like before I get out of bed, I will play my affirmations. My, like, it's only like a couple minutes long that like my professor gave us homework to like record our own.
Yeah.
So it's like a minute or two long of like, there's a one I wrote for like calming me down, and because I wake up with anxiety a lot.
Mm.
And then the other one's just for protection, and then one's just like affirmations, like a bunch, like, abundance, like I'm
Yeah.
beautiful, like different things like that. And
Mm.
so I'll play those, I'll give gratitude, tune in, and then chill there for a few minutes, or an hour to an hour and a half, and then I'll get up. But now I've been definitely, or well, I say since the summer, I've been making sure that I like get outside, go do yoga, like when it's not raining
Mm.
and it's sunny, and I wake up early enough or whatever, like I'll get up there. And I've been more consistent with that.
Okay.
And that actually led along with like following my professor
Mm.
um advice and teachings to, if you have like certain Leo placements, like um Leo North Node, she was specifically touching on, but like also if like your Chiron's in Leo, or your sun, or I'm sure like your rising or first house is in Leo, then also like you are, is a part of who you are, or your soul's essence, to like get out there, or at least this lifetime is part of your path to shine,
Yeah.
like expose and be the sun, and lead, and like charismatically lead, and just like, yeah, like shine, like expand your aura, just like be
Right.
yourself, create, be, youthful, all that energy.
Mm.
Healing starts by healing others. Like once you especially realize what you're here to do, what your purpose is, like the way that you heal, or at least heal the most, or heal traumas the best way, is by healing others.
Mm.
And she points out how a lot of times, and I've definitely resonated with, um the fact that a lot of times we feel like we got to be we have to have a certain amount of credits, or we have to have credentials, or like,
Right.
have a certain type of, right, until we start teaching people or showing like, oh, and calling ourselves, affirming who we are, or what a certain title or whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I didn't expect to like, be teaching yoga already.
Yeah.
So it was just like, okay, I know I need to relax, pace myself. I'm teaching someone, like, adjust. So she's teaching me as I'm teaching her.
Right.
And that's what I love about, like, learning yoga has led me to Thai massage, which is dubbed as lazy man's yoga, because basically a lot of the poses, like, there's shiatsus, there's acupressure in it, and like other like massage techniques, but a lot of it is basically assisting people into different yoga poses. Like, I'm a Capricorn sun, but like I have, like I said, I have the Aquarius in it. Like my Aquarius moon, I'm born on the cusp, so I
Yeah.
call myself a Capricorus.
Have Aquarius? Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna call that joint the heavy Aquarius energy.
For real, because that's I feel like that's a good way. Not to sum me up, because I feel like, not to say, and that's unapologetically and not egotistically,
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
I can't be summed up, but like,
Yeah,
but yeah, that's a
yeah.
good gist.
Um, that's a cool little full circle moment. A lot of times though, you talked about you was about to teach yoga and you didn't feel like you was ready, but a lot of times, believe it or not, we are more ready than we even realize.
Mhm.
Because
Right,
it's just
right.
that it's that fear. A lot of times we're scared to take that
Hmm.
leap of faith, or scared to do
Yeah.
something we never did before. And
Yes.
and,
Or
and
we've been
we,
scared, fear mongered out of.
yeah, and that's why it's important when you start doing something and you feel like you feel like you're getting good at it, to
Mhm.
not share with other people, because they're gonna bring you, like, they're gonna feed that down in your mind. You're not that good.
I feel you to an extent. But I totally get what you mean. But I would say, with what I've just recently learned, a past class, and also like what my professor has been like amplifying this week, um, is like, our traumas, like, she always says, like, if she enters a space or whatever, she's waiting for a trauma. Like, she wants to be triggered, because she knows, like, she's on the level that she overstands, that she's ready to heal. If she's like stepping into affirming she's here to heal her traumas, and she's ready to heal her traumas, that like she's trying to get them out of the
Um,
way and here to
mm,
ascend, that she wants to bring the like, she's ready for spirit to bring them challenges and them traumas on, so that she
yeah,
can, note them. And she journals, of course, and like note them, or mentally note them. Okay, like, spirit, okay, what are they bringing up? What trauma are they triggering right now? And let's help. Like, let's heal this. Let's get this done. Let's get this spiritual work, this shadow work done, so we can move on. So like, I get what you mean, and obviously, still, like, in working and pacing yourself, there are definitely people you don't need to be around, and so yeah, you don't
yeah,
need to be telling them, but like, don't I feel like it's best, and to really embody that abundance energy, and who your most authentic self, being
mm,
tapped into your soul on your
mm,
path, you gotta unapologetically be able to express your plans, if you definitely know that that's a prompting from God, that you meant to
yeah,
do, at
yeah.
least, you
Leo,
don't gotta tell them everything, but like, or
yeah,
put them onto your secrets, but like, certain
yeah, yeah.
things, like, yeah,
I don't
claim
hide it.
that.
Yeah, I don't hide it from people. I just, I'm just careful what I tell them. And
Mindful of who, right? I get you, yeah.
yeah, 'cause
Right, that too,
yeah,
all the above.
all the above.
Mm-hmm.
if you was talking to someone who didn't know anything about yoga, how would you sum up the benefits of yoga?
Um, okay. um, Yoga, I like to say, I like to call it like basically, or like refer to it. Not, I mean, still call it yoga, but I mean, like when like kind of breaking it down, like I like to think of yoga as just movement meditation.
Okay.
Like it's just another meditative modality like Tai Chi, Qigong, and it just has its own pace and its own ways. Like, it could be more relaxing to certain people or easier for people to, do than Tai Chi, because Tai Chi mostly, not that you gotta have to stand on your feet, but like, certain poses and stuff, a lot of it is you standing on your feet in the in a stance.
Yeah.
But like there is like qigong and tai chi you can still do from sitting down, but like that's the main like thing that you see it, or like the main way to do it. And then yoga, you could do it sitting down. So like while you're healing, if you feel like, okay, if you're the type of person that like being on your feet isn't for you right now or whatever, like yoga you can do in bed, but yeah, I wouldn't say it's the best place to do it. But like
Yeah.
if you're bedridden, like if you have an extreme symptoms and disease going on, ailments or whatever, like even yoga is so easy to start with. I say it's an easy way to get people into exercising. My aunt,
Yeah.
she has like really bad varicose veins now, and she uses a cane and like knee arthritis, and I think like she's gone in for them like look at her knees, and I think either she has had or they're looking at about getting knee surgery done. So like I took the initiative to like, ask her if she ever be interested, in getting, Thai massage done by me, or like helping me practice and or like even just doing yoga, easy stretches, if she'd be interested in doing like easy yoga like exercises, if I typed up, a document or whatever, and even like maybe included some videos of like, how to do them. And she'd be interested in actually, doing it and like trying it out to get her, into exercise. So like I've used that mindset to like create, even more like or even yeah, like specific like yoga, chakra yoga, like curated vinyasas, like sessions and stuff like that. Um and lesson plans. So I want to make it as easy as possible. There's like no excuse to be like, oh well, like exercise and like it's so
Yeah.
hard, or I have to go to the gym, or like if you could do it from your bed and it feels good to stretch, like now you just like really have no excuse, like it feels good. Like just stretch, once you get that sensation, like stretch a little more and, breathe into it. And then, change your life.
But
That's what I feel.
yeah, a lot of these things can change your life. I was never really into yoga, but meditation was always my thing.
Mhm.
It kind of like brought my awareness to a higher level. Uh, like at first I didn't know what I was doing. Uh, you know,
Right. Right.
because I had just watched a video on it.
Uh,
A video on. I used to watch his entertainment videos back then, and somehow a meditation video came up on my timeline on YouTube.
well, yeah,
My
that was
recommended.
God.
Yeah. So then I was like, "How do you meditate?" So then I watched a video, a random video.
Mhm.
I never watched their channel since, but
Mhm.
they said, you set a timer and all that, right? So I'm in the like the Indian stance, and um, I said that the timer is for 5 minutes. I look down. I would close my eyes. Work. I breathe for like 30 seconds. I look down. 4:30. I look down. I look down at that. I look down again. 3:40.
Oh wow.
3:20. I just kept looking at the time. It was like the longest 5 minutes ever. You know.
Yeah, yeah, for real. It'd be like that when you're first starting out. It definitely, like, and I feel like I've been I've definitely meditated enough, and definitely it's been a few years now practicing meditating, that like I should definitely be at the point where I can do 30 minutes,
Yeah.
or like or I guess I shouldn't have to do 30 minutes, but like I can just command the space, command, you
Yeah.
know, my intentions, get in, be there, be present, and then feel like, okay, I had a good session, like pat myself on the back. And
Yeah.
I feel like also I gotta, now let's bring it up a point, like I gotta stop also devaluing how, what effort I do and how intentional I am as
Yeah.
of now, presently, from what I can do. Or at least that day, especially if I'm like waking up mad because I didn't get enough sleep.
Yeah.
Having grace with yourself.
Yeah. But
And
you gotta celebrate yourself, and like you may not see it in the moment, but you came far from like in a month or like a year or a couple years, however you look at it. Usually like on my birthday or some or solar return, I
mhm.
just I be looking at I be reflecting year over year, and you just be seeing how far you came just a year or like even a
Right.
month. And especially I think you make that progress a lot when you're constantly working on yourself, and when you
Turn.
embark on the spiritual journey, you're like you're not only working on your physical self, you're learning more on a physical level, but you're also working on your spiritual self. So it's like all this growth time like amplified to like another level.
Right. Because whatever invest in, that seeds growing is gonna, if you're nurturing it, it's gonna flourish. That's that abundance,
Yeah.
the key word of the day, abundance in
Abundance and
Aquarius
Aquarius. Yeah.
energy. But like, yeah, and the fact that, information, if you want to look at it like, well, information is another word basically kind of for knowledge, obviously, intel, intellect, and like knowledge plus understanding, as my professor says. A knowledge plus understanding equals power. Like you need um that knowing,
Yeah.
that masculine energy plus that feminine understanding energy, that
Mm.
internal energy to, be empowered to move, righteously and, unwaveringly on your path, or at least to, have that unwavering faith and trust in God and the divine. It's like, what's for you?
Facts.
What is for you is happening for you.
Yeah, when it's
No
for you,
weapon shall prosper against you. Like,
yeah, when it's for you, it'll flow. Like it's not gonna, you're not gonna have like 10 obstacles of like something like not going your way. It's just gonna happen naturally in like an organic way. I feel like something inside of you, like this feels like good. You're gonna get a good feeling from it, and then the alignment is there right in front of
yeah, the more you let go of ego, because
you.
I be struggling. My ego be like, what is happening? Is this a sign? Is this a red flag? Too much is happening. Chaos,
Yeah,
chaos. I'm about to turn the other way. Like, what do you mean? Like,
yeah.
or I'd be like, you said this. Okay, I saw them angel numbers when I was doing this. So I thought that confirmed this. But now I know numerology, but like and number synchronicities and how to decode them now. But like before, like 111 popping up as soon as I'm doing something in alignment, like with this job I recently applied to like last month or so, and then like ended up not getting it. And they like called me last week, and I'm like, does that make sense, Spirit? Like, you was showing me 111, like what's happening? You showing me this. I did all this, like all this energy I invested into this, and that's not it. But like, it's just I be feeling so confused, and then I get so mad. But it's just like, once my professor always says, let yourself have those spiritual, temper tantrums, or you're like, after like, have that psychotic breakdown. But then, go ahead and cry, let the traumas out, express yourself. And then once you get that good 10 minutes of crying, whatever, like, your body is forced to be like, why are we still crying? Like, I'm done. I'm over this. Like, just let it out and move on. And then, once you do that, you should be able to, start receiving. Okay,
you get it
this was for the better. This was, okay, I wasn't meant to do that. Maybe, God's going to show me, and then you start being like, all right, I guess I didn't have to do all that earlier. But it's like so frustrating, like, communicate better, but it's like they're trying their best, and we're the ones that have to remember, and we signed up to do this work, to come here to learn how to communicate with them. So
you're never gonna know the full picture,
right? The full picture. And I know, my Aquarius, I have to learn that. I have to, like, that's part of my repeating trauma, like, of just having that trust issues. Like, what am I to do? Like, I be just looking at it stupid. Like, I just feeling, or not looking at stupid, but I be feeling like I be looking at stupid.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm always trying to piece something together. And then they're like, oh, you thought you could think ahead. Oh, psych. And I'm like, well, then how the fuck am I supposed to learn how to affirm? If y'all turning me into a liar because she ain't going through. That's how I always felt. Like, even when I was younger, I guess I don't even know if I knew, like, affirmation, or at least, like, the concept, or like what it really meant in affirmations. But like, when people would say, like, you should say, or like teachers and stuff, it's best to keep that positive attitude and speak good about yourself, like. And my dad is also always like psychological. He's always like, giving us like tips on like how to, control our mind, and mind over matter, like. So, and critical thinking and all this other stuff. So like, when I heard, like, so tell yourself how you want to be. Tell yourself, when you doubt in yourself, like, tell yourself the opposite and stuff. And I'm like, well, I've always felt like I don't want to feel like a liar. And I know that goes back to my childhood trauma, the same thing, like the trust issue, or like my parents being pathological habitual liars, like just hypocrites, and just not able to like feel like I could trust them because they just lying. And why are they lying? It's a silliness. Why are you lying? Like, you just can't help but lie. Like, that's just, that's my biggest, like, I feel like that's my Chiron, my biggest recurring trauma, because how am I supposed to trust? How am I supposed to succeed on my spiritual path without trust and faith? And I guess me using the outside external world to show me confirmations all the time is probably, self-sabotage. So I guess, okay, thanks. Thanks for learning with me.
And sometimes, like, you'll get a sign, and you think it's, like you said, you think it's one thing, but it's like a test of your faith.
Right, a challenge for sure, an obstacle for you to, like, because a lot of times the most challenging ones is because, you were supposed to power through it, or it was just to trigger this trauma. And if you kept your head cool, you kept the faith, then you would pass the test. So now we're gonna have to do this again. So get ready for next time it comes around. Like, that's why I feel. And it's so hard. Like this journey is so hard. Like, it is not for the faint-hearted, but I've always known that. With just the simple, like, cliche phrases of, like, not being a sheep, like, what makes a sheep versus people that use their brain, have a brain and use it, and they're not a follower or a bandwagoner.
We think for this
authentic, a unique, an individual.
Yeah, I think that's lacking, especially in certain things like creativity. Creativity comes from an authentic place, but a lot of times people try to create based on like trying to copy something.
Right. Yeah. And I, like, either last class or so last week or the week before, like, we were discussing, like, or someone, like, had a question, and whatever my professor's answer led to, they brought up, like, having or feeling like imposter syndrome when they think about, like, going to create and share their creation, I guess social media posting and stuff like that, like feeling that. And my professor was like, a lot of spiritual beings tend to feel imposter syndrome, but it's like, if that's something that resonated with you, it resonated with you for a reason. Now, doing it how, obviously how they're exactly doing it, that ain't what you're supposed to do. But, if you resonated with some main thing that they're doing, because you're supposed to incorporate that in your life or whatever you're here to do, like, then do that, and you got to experiment that and follow that prompt and to figure out, get to the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've definitely felt that a lot. I feel like that all my life. Like, I feel like that's what has kept me from making content, like, or at least posting it, ever just starting my YouTube channel earlier, or taking it seriously and watching all these people at the same time and feeling like it's so easy, especially, I don't know. And I feel like a lot of spiritual people, at least I might meet, or when the topic comes up, like, we could definitely give and pump, like, we could definitely be hype mans. It's easier for us to be hype mans, natural cheerleaders, and believe in someone else's, ability to accomplish their testimony, their success and triumph and stuff. But when it comes to us, or applying that advice and things to us, we don't give ourselves, the same mentality.
Yeah.
Gratitude, because I don't say that enough, and I feel like I don't say that enough.
Yeah.
That's why these challenges be so much harder.
Yeah, gratitude is really important. It really shifts your vibration to, like,
yes.
When you could be like in the most sad time, or like you could be in that emotion, and then like you just say I'm grateful for such and such, or you just get into this like prayer meditation thing that I be doing.
It takes you down a whole nother route.
Yeah, and then it kind of like grounds you, but at the same time it like just raises your vibration, and then
right, because grounding does that. Grounding does raise your vibrational frequency. It realigns you, right? Recalibrates you. I want to say, like, not to say, okay, like, I just got to stand outside for 30 minutes and then I'm going to be, I'm going to evolve. Like, but like, I would say recalibrate you, yeah. But realign works too, like realign you back on your path. And, it's that disciplinary action towards deepening your connection to your soul and the universe, which means God herself, which means, your truest self and who you want to be, or at least who you want to be if you're actually serious about your journey. to ascend or heal.
I,
Do your soul mission.
yeah, both.
Right.
Yeah, but
And creation is key. Like, we are creators. If we
yeah,
don't create, we're dying. We're just, what are we
yeah.
doing? We're perishing.
I
You're
yeah,
destroying.
yeah, you gotta stay in that creative flow, and a lot of people struggle with writer's block, but I feel like the point I'm at, I find like all the life inspirational, so I can find like because usually I create based on like what I'm feeling, emotion.
Right.
So it's nothing forced. It's just constant flow when I'm creating. So
So your sacral chakra sounds pretty, unblocked.
yeah, shout out to the sacral chakra.
Pretty thriving.
The orange, you feel me?
Yes, orange.
Yeah,
What was I gonna say? Oh, so yes, a lot of people do struggle with that. And like,
yeah,
art is expression, of your emotions. Like, that is what art is for.
mm,
And that is why they say life imitates art, or art imitates life, whatever it is, however way
yeah,
it goes. But I feel like I always say them both because it's vice versa. Like,
mm,
if we didn't have life, we wouldn't create art. If we didn't live life and we didn't express what we saw and experienced through life, we couldn't create art.
mm.
So therefore, vice versa.
Yes, they both add to the
So, like, yeah, for
and
real, that is being authentic. That is what you're using music, you're using writing as it's supposed to be
yeah,
done. Three is communication, or three stands for communication, which also, is expression, which is also, yeah, expression. So that's like your emotions, communication. You express how you feel, what you really want to say, your truth.
yeah,
That's being in alignment, speaking your truth.
yeah. I remember I went to a Reiki healer like in 2019,
Oh,
and
you went to one.
yeah, um,
Man.
and she said my throat chakra was the toughest thing to unblock. Which one? At the
Toughest
time.
thing to unblock.
Well, it was just a lot of energy.
Okay. It was a
But
lot of energy. Right. And then, music, and you have a podcast, like, communication is your thing, like third
yeah,
chakra is
yeah.
your thing. So a lot of time, well, I mean, no, I don't want to say a lot of times. And I also don't want to like be insulting in any way.
You're
But
not talking.
it's like, no, duh. Like, when I think about it, or when it clicks to me, it's like, of course, what you struggle with the most, like your Chiron, like that's what you're here to do. That's what you're here to thrive at. That's why that's the most challenge. That's the most reoccurring, you know, obstacle, challenge, trauma, trigger, whatever you want
Yeah,
to call it. Like, because that's what you're here to master. And once you
right.
master it, maybe it's time for you to ascend. But like,
Yeah,
that's the main thing. Your mission is here to master that. And by mastering that, we manifest our careers or our life to be, okay, I am, whatever job title someone creates or innovates or, goes by and decides to embark
yeah.
and follow through in life. Like, yeah.
Manifesting your destiny.
Yeah, like, I learned your Chiron. Well, Chiron is a placement on your birth chart. And it because it's a placement on your birth chart because it is a fixed comet, like stuck in our solar system's rotation around the
Oh,
sun.
okay. That's interesting.
So it has like, it's sporadic, or like, I want to say sporadic, but maybe sporadic does work. But it's like a different, like, it's not misshapen, but it's not your usual like circular or whatever,
Yeah, I get what you're
like
saying.
ecliptic rotation around the sun. So it's also shaped like the word Chiron or whatever. It's shaped like, or the symbol of it is shaped like a key. So it looks pretty much like a key.
Okay, okay.
And like basically well, that's no coincidence, you know.
No, not at
So
all.
Chiron represents the wounded healer, and it's your, most reoccurring trauma, like that main trauma. Like I was saying earlier, you're here to heal, master, and then help others and demonstrate to others how to heal. Like
Yeah,
that's usually what someone's purpose is. That's the way you share love and
yeah,
give back and butterfly effects. Like that's mostly, or like that's one step of it that you're here to
yeah,
help people do. And then there can be like categories of certain people that you're here to heal in different ways, of course, like
yeah,
certain, and that will depend on certain relationships, like you were touching on earlier about some people, obviously we all know certain, not every relationship is the same or meant
right.
to be the same. They come up with their own boundaries or whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, it's just so in alignment.
very. But I also feel like, and I'm also here to inspire people. Like I just think about like taking the leap of faith and doing it
Mm-hmm.
is just inspiring to people who want to do the same, who want to write that book.
Right, because that's right. That's
Yeah,
part of it too.
yeah,
Right, because if you're a pioneer, you have the specific route that of something that at least historically, whatever Westernly has never seen or been done. Like that's part of, a lot of times that's part of people's mission. They are here to do something, be a pioneer, do something that's never been done before. And as we are evolving beings, that kind of adds up. Like we gotta
yeah,
do some shit that never been done before, because all we can do is continue to move forward in existence and expand and create and elevate. So I feel like that makes sense.
yeah. Um, but it was wonderful having you on today. I really appreciate our conversation and stuff.
Yes, me too. Like this was good.
It's a vibe.
It really is.
Yeah, you do a wonderful job for your first time on the pod. You can keep
Thank you. I feel like do I need to take some notes or like right now? Take some notes before I come on, or just flow. Cause like sometimes I just be rambling, but I know I be rambling because I don't express myself enough, or I don't express my downloads enough to get better at practicing how to communicate them and hold on to them or whatever. So yeah, like this was very good. This is very healing and much needed.
Thank you. I appreciate that.